What made you begin to suspect that something diagnosable might be interfering with their education?
Interesting.
Well, when my first daughter started kindergarten, I knew she was bright, but she was just struggling with reading. I thought maybe she was born premature, maybe that had something to do with it. And then when my second child started, he was struggling with reading. It took me till my fourth child to actually understand that they were dyslexic. That was because the school kept denying that dyslexia had anything to do with it.
What kinds of struggles were they dealing with reading? Was it comprehension? Was it sounding out word sounds, phonics? What was it?
Basically, they just could not read. They would, well, the way they were being taught was through whole language, which did not encourage them to sound out words, did not teach them to sound out words. So one of the strategies the teachers taught them was to guess at words and to look at the pictures. So one of the things my kids would say often was, "Look, Mom, I can read this book with my eyes closed." They would memorize it, but they weren't learning to read.
Whole language is one of the curriculum philosophies about teaching children how to read. We'll get more into that in just a little bit. Kristen Long, I wonder maybe when did you realize that something was a little different with the way that you learned?
I think from a very early age, I kind of realized that I was different from a lot of the other kids. Probably the first time that really stands out to me is in first or second grade. I remember there was a wall of books and they were all in different categories of like levels, and I would always choose the lowest level, and it always embarrassed me so much. So I would just tell my friends, "Oh yeah, I don't really feel like reading today," because I thought that it was something that was so tiring and hard that people could just not feel like reading and pick the lowest level book.
I hope that nobody ever made you feel stupid or made fun of you because of the way that you learned, did they?
Of course not.
Yeah, a lot actually. It made me feel like very isolated from the rest of my peers. I remember one time I was sitting and we were working on a math worksheet, and I finished the math worksheet before another boy, and he looked at the teacher and he said, "Well, I'm stupid because I finished it after Kristen did."
Gail Long, I wonder when you began or what you had to do in order to get your daughter the kind of educational support that she needed.
Well, once we realized what the problem was, we immediately approached the school, and the school was not, let's say, cooperative in assisting us to get the help we needed.
Elaborate on what you mean by not cooperative. Did they just not want to test her at all?
We started with the teachers, and the teachers seemed like they had no idea what we were talking about, when in fact we had our children tested and they were moderately to severely dyslexic. Then we went to the principal and we actually gave him a written letter formally requesting a multi-factored evaluation within the school system of our children, and they denied that, saying that there was no evidence that our children had learning disabilities. Actually, on the day I went to meet with the school system, I called the U.S. Department of Education and spoke to a Dr. Al Jones, and he said absolutely they are required to, if you give them a formal request, they are required within 60 days to either test the child or to deny it, and then you have recourse after that.
Well, we're going to cut it off.
So after I brought in the information